Inside this box is a 2022 Polygon Xtrada 7. It retails for $1,100 and it was sent to me by bikesonline.com. Thank you, Philip, and your team for sending me this bike and allowing me to review it. I've been sick the last few days, so my voice may sound more sensual than usual, but today we're going to unbox this bike and take a closer look. Let's get started. Oh, come on. Woo! Ta-da! Okay, so after reviewing the footage of me putting this bike together and talking about it while I was sick, it wasn't good, useful, or informative, so we're redoing this and we're just gonna skip to the part where I talk about the bike. The Xtrada is an entry-level cross-country mountain bike with modern cross-country geometry or outdated trail geometry, however you choose to look at it. It does have a 67-degree head tube angle with a 75-degree seat tube angle. This is a size extra large, and it does have a 470mm reach. I think those numbers are very respectable for an entry-level hardtail. This bike looks like something Zach Morris would ride to Bayside. Yes, a 90s reference. 90s kids will get it, but this paint job is very retro inspired, and I absolutely love it. I did weigh the bike out of the box with tubes in the tires and these pedals on it, and it weighed 32.44 pounds. With that brief overview out of the way, we can go ahead and talk about this bike in a little more detail, the good, the bad, and everything in between, everything I can tell you without having ridden this thing yet. So we'll start up front and work our way back. This bike is 120mm of travel from an SR Suntour XCR32 air fork. The fork does have a lockout lever up here at the top and a rebound adjuster down at the bottom. One thing I found weird about the rebound adjustment knob is it doesn't click, it's just like an infinite sweep adjust. You don't really ever know where you are in the realm of rebound. I think that's kind of an odd design. Another thing worth noting about this fork is it is non-boost, so it uses a 15x100mm through axle. Not really a big deal, that doesn't bother me all that much, but wanted to point that out. I've never ridden on one of these lower end Suntour air forks, so I'm excited to see how it performs. The wheels are Entity XL2 disc wheels with Shimano hubs, and the rims themselves are tubeless compatible, but the WTB Trail Boss tires that come on the bike are not tubeless compatible. I already had some tubeless compatible tires laying around that I wasn't using, so I've already converted this thing tubeless and put my Kenda Regolith and booster combo on it. The wheels are not taped for a tubeless conversion from the factory, so that is something I had to do and you'll have to do yourself, so just keep that in mind if you do want to convert this tubeless. I would strongly encourage you to convert it tubeless because with my setup the way you see it, it weighs 30.16 pounds, nearly 2.5 pounds lighter. I guess those Trail Boss tires are very heavy. I expected to save maybe 1 pound. Brakes are Shimano MT201 hydraulic disc brakes. They're just very low-end 2-piston hydraulic brakes. That's fine. There's nothing great about them, but you know, it is what it is. 160mm rotors front and rear. I do like that they are center lock rotors though, so that's nice. But of course I'm about to complain like I do with every bike. It comes with rotors that can only accept resin pads. Moving up to the cockpit, the handlebars, the stem, they're Entity Expert, that's Polygon's in-house brand, I believe. They are 31.8mm clamp, if that matters. Something weird I noted about the stem is the faceplate is two separate pieces. What is that? I've never seen that before. Maybe some of you have, I don't know. It did come with black Entity slip-on grips. They didn't feel very good just from grabbing them out of the box. So I went to the local bike shop and got these purple Deity lockjaw grips. I think they look fantastic with this retro paint job. Wouldn't you agree? Cable routing is internal if that is important to you. And if you look up here at the seat post, you can see there is no dropper post, which is pretty common in this price range. One thing to note about the seat post, it is a 27.2mm diameter, so that is going to limit your dropper post upgrade options. One thing I also noticed is the seat post itself does get stopped, I believe, by this water bottle boss, so you can't fully insert the seat if you want to. Since you can't get a super long dropper post for it anyways. That's probably not going to matter. It may be a bigger deal on a smaller frame just because there's less material, so it may actually hither your upgrade options even more. Speaking of water bottle bosses, you do get some on the down tube and the seat tube, so you can run 2 water bottles if you're a very thirsty person. If we look down here, it's actually got mounts for a front derailleur. I don't know many people are gonna put one on, but if you want to run a front derailleur on this bike, you can. Crankset is the Shimano MT510, I believe. The cranks that come on a lot of bikes these days. They are 175 millimeter length on this size extra large. Nothing too exciting about that. Another nice feature down there by the cranks, it's a threaded bottom bracket. Drivetrain, it is a full Shimano Dior 12-speed, which is pretty cool to see. And moving all the way to the back, you do get a 12 by 148 millimeter boost through axle. That is very nice in this price point. All things considered, it's a pretty good spec build for the price. There's always going to be compromises in this price range. Unfortunately, you can't have every feature you want for $1,100. Those bikes just don't exist. I do want to point out that there were a couple imperfections in this particular bike when I received it. There is a nick in the paint here on the frame, also here on the fork, and then in this footage you can see that the paint was actually kind of dirty. It had some stains and stuff on it. I see a stain right here as well. Most of the filth I was able to just clean off, not a big deal. But it is unfortunate to see a chip in the paint in 2 spots, especially on a brand new bike. It could have just been a shipping error. I'm not gonna stand here and say, oh, every Polygon's gonna have damage when you receive it. I know plenty of people with Polygons and they said all theirs looked perfect. I'm just one of those unfortunate few that something happened like that. It is small. I'm not gonna make a fuss about it or call the manager or anything like that, but I just wanted to point that out. There's not a ton else I can say about this bike without having ridden it. I just wanted to unbox it, present it to you, and give you some details on it. But it is a stunning looking bike. This is one of the coolest paint jobs in mountain biking right now, I would say. And adding purple grips really brings it all together with the teal pedals. I mean, I should have been an interior designer with this much fashion sense. Says the guy wearing slippers while filming a video. Oh, I added the pink valve stems too, just to further add credibility. So yes, thank you Bikes Online for sending me this bike. I'm very grateful and I appreciate it. And I'm very excited to ride this thing. There's so many trails at my new home. It's overwhelming. I don't even know where to start with this. Okay, yay, we did it. We filmed the first video here in Bentonville, Arkansas in my crooked room apparently, because the camera says it's level, but it looks crooked in here. Am I right? Comment below if the room looks crooked. I'll let the landlord know. Anyways, I hope you enjoyed this video. Thank you so much for your time, and until the next one, stay rowdy within reason.